Yeah, but also, Lily, how many dildos are you ordering to mom's house? It's getting
Can
weird.
someone tell me what that thing is?
Use your Amazon app and take a picture, and it'll tell you what kind of sex toy it is.
What do you mean?
There's a little part of the Amazon app that will literally take a picture of any item and put like a bunch of little, like
clearly there's some sort of scramble in the Amazon, unless people took the prank seriously and are actually ordering weird sex toys to Lily's name to mom and dad's
But what
address.
is the sex toy?
I really
it looks like a shower cap. What is that?
I didn't see a picture of it. Mom and dad said they weren't opening it.
No, mom sent a picture.
Read the description.
I couldn't. How good are your eyes?
What does the description say? Oh my God! If people are sending sex toys to this podcast,
I was looking at like the scrunchie in the picture.
This is amazing. Keep them coming, people.
Guys.
Please keep.
Oh my God,
sex
Becky.
Toys to
Okay,
mom and
please
dad's
open the
house.
picture. Okay, today's deals. There's a box and my name is on it. Then there's some sort of like scrunchy looking thing. I thought it was a shower cap. I was like, why are mom and dad sending me this?
No, the picture says huge,
it's too blurry.
Dildo, small.
Oh my God.
Glams for vaginal G-spot and anal play.
This is,
and then
whoever did this, we both want to know who you are and we don't want to know who you are because we want you to keep doing this. So it's not the thing on the
right, Becky?
And then the other is replacement set for sourdough, your fermenting experience. That's what
I thought that they were sending me a picture of that like scrunchy looking thing, and I was like, I didn't order a cotton shower cap. That's not gonna work.
You're gonna have to send me the picture of this so that
I'm sending you right now. This is insane.
It says these two items arrived today, addressed to Lily Corman. I am not kidding.
I never got
not opening the boxes this time. I'll just bring it to DC as in the original package proof of purchase.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
never
actually
opened
thought
the close-ups.
I thought mom was just trolling Lily. Like, I got some packages for you. I'm not going to open them
Me
so
too.
you don't make fun of me.
I know. Oh my God, I'm shocked right now. I'm so glad they send it to everyone, not just me.
No, but at this point, we don't know if this is a repeat event or if this is just someone who listens to the show doing a bit, which is also amazing.
But also, like, maybe it's because Lily lives in Spain.
Wait, I want to know where you're going with that.
Like, Lily lives in Spain, but orders all of this stuff through mom's Amazon account. And maybe because of that, something got, like, hacked or glitched. Do you know what I mean? Because, like...
They're just sending us free dicks?
No, like, somebody else's orders are going to your house.
That has happened. That happened to me for a while.
Under
but I was
my
getting,
name?
Yeah, but I was getting, like, parts for cell phone repair for, like,
so it was all in the same category.
Yeah. I was getting like the little tools, and then
I have a question. I have a sex question.
Soldering stuff. A sex question?
What?
Becky knows the answer to this.
What does it mean? Huge, thick dildo, small glands.
That I don't know. Maybe small. Glands. You know what? That probably refers to the balls.
Yeah, the way mom sent the first picture, it looks like she's annoyed that like I ordered a shower cap for myself. And
that's something you do with a sourdough fermenting kit.
Which I also was like, this is a terrible shower cap. It looks like your hair would get wet. I was like, I'm not looking at these messages. I'm annoyed. And so I didn't see, Shai, that mom then sent 4 other pictures or 3 other pictures with very detailed descriptions. Oh, wait, the fermenting cap came in the dildo box. I just realized that. I'm really piecing this together very slowly. Both items came together.
I mean, like, to be clear, it's not my order, but I feel like it suspiciously sounds like an Amazon order that would be
from your house?
To my house. Sex toys and sourdough?
Vlad loves some sourdough. It's the same company. They make sex toys and sourdough. Becky, this does sound like
it's the same company.
Yeah,
well,
they're in the same box.
Obviously from Berkeley. thankful episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. And this is our annual Thanksgiving period episode. We're going to mix it up a bit, though. We have with us one of our best returning guests, Mark Aronson, a.k.a. Bobby Buttons, is back. It's going to help us understand some of the commerce traditions of the Thanksgiving Black Friday area. Mark, welcome back.
Great to be here. Good to see you guys.
And Lily and Becky.
So good to see you.
Lily and Becky, it's great to see you. I do want to kick off with a couple of things that I would like to just raise. One is Mom is with me for Thanksgiving. She arrived, a couple of suitcases, some stuffing that she made at home. My favorite stuffing that she makes, the Tam Tam recipe. It's the best. And then, of course, a cooler. And I took a little peek in the cooler. List of things Mom's remembered: walnuts, sour cream, yogurt, an old avocado, the usual.
Well, sour cream because my in-laws are arriving on Monday, so she always likes to just offer a bowl of sour cream.
In the trunk of the car is a 6-pack of almond milks. And I asked, do you want me to bring these in the house? And Mom's like, I'm not sure how long these have been in the trunk, so we don't need to bring them in. But so these are all the things Mom remembered. Do you know what Mom walked in and said she forgot? Her hearing aids and her CPAP.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
I'm about to get ready for the podcast, and I am trying to locate CPAP hose items for Mom.
Amazing. Can you just lend her yours?
No, well, I'm giving her mine. She's going to go out to a store to match the hoses.
I feel like she doesn't wear her hearing aids just to troll us. Like, it's her way of messing with us is by refusing to wear them.
By the way, Dad's reaction was, I think I'll just drive back to Philly right now and get you those things. Because he's like, oh my God, how am I going to do this without things?
Isn't this like the job? Isn't this for Amazon, like same day delivery, that kind of,
Yeah, I feel like,
I don't know. The other thing I'll just say, just in the calamities that I've had lately. So I was in Los Angeles, had a wonderful trip, saw so many great friends. And I stayed in this part of Hollywood called Hollywood, but I thought it was West. Becky told me to stay in West Hollywood. And I just saw the W at the beginning of the hotel, the W Hollywood, as like West Hollywood. It is not. It is like staying in Times Square. Only it's kind of empty. But
I love how you thought the W stood for West.
So
That's
LA,
amazing.
Hollywood, you think beautiful people. Where were all the people on Instagram? Because the people staying, Allie and I were the best looking people in that hotel, and that is unacceptable for visitors. It was horrific. It's also, the hotel is busted. And the other thing that I just wanted to add is I had a few food calamities quickly. One is we went to watch a movie. And I brought, you know me, I always do things over the top. I went to CVS and I bought those 3 flavor popcorn tins, 4 of them. And obviously we didn't finish 4 tins for like 10 people. So I had to take 2 back to my hotel afterwards. And I used my suitcase to transport them because they were very bulky. But because they had been opened, when I opened my bag, they had been jostled. And when I opened my bag, my suitcase had just been filled with popcorn. And I couldn't figure, like, there was no easy way to get it out. So I was like, scoop it. Well, first I started eating it out of the suitcase.
Like,
I scooped it and then I put it in the bag, in the tins. And then I was just eating the scooped popcorn from the tins. But then it started to taste like socks. So then I just had to throw a lot of the popcorn.
But also, like, from the very beginning, you didn't need to save that popcorn. I'm not advocating for food waste. I'm just saying CVS popcorn is not
the amount of popcorn covered like the depth of a water bottle. Like there was a water bottle in my bag and you could just see the little tippy top sticking out of the popcorn. That's how much popcorn was in there. And the last but not least, on the plane ride home, I flew on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which is insane. It was pretty nice.
That is like a crazy decision.
So I got the inside window seat, but of the bulkhead, thank goodness. Right. So I window seat, like I'm immediately anxious for 5 hours that I'm not on the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I finally kind of fall asleep. But before that, I had been given I asked for a glass of water from the flight attendant coming around, and I got 2 of those delicious Biscoff cookies, which is like the reason to go on an airplane is to get a Biscoff cookie.
That's Delta?
It's American. I think they all have
now Googling this cookie. I don't know what that is.
So I had my Biscoff cookie. I drank some water, but I was terrified that I would have to pee. So I only sipped like a teeny bit of the water.
You just say, excuse me, to the people next to you. Get up and go to the bathroom.
No, they're very big.
They were very big?
Big guys. Like not...
So as in you were afraid they were going to like harm you, or they wouldn't be able to get out of the seat?
They were just like a little intimidating. Anyways.
There's no rule that says people in the window can't go to the bathroom.
So
there is
an aisle seat person. As an aisle seat person, you assume the responsibility that if someone has to make, you got to get up.
Yeah, but it's sort of an unspoken rule that they're not going to ask you.
Go before.
The implicit rule is that only people with strong bladders choose the window seat, and they only get up to pee when the aisle person gets up to pee.
Your punishment for getting the aisle seat is that you have to get up if someone has to pee.
It's an emergency.
So I'm now in the middle next to these 2.
We can agree to disagree.
Big men, not like they're big the way like Vlad is a big guy. My brother-in-law Jeff is a big guy. No, but they took up space. I was tiny, like Alan Pinchuk. That's they were kind of like Alan Pinchuk size.
Got it.
Okay, so I'm sitting next to them. I'm huddled in my little thing. I've taken my one little sip of water because I'm afraid if I drink any more,
because you.
I mean, I already had a kidney stone this summer, right?
I know.
So then
would not be messing.
So then I fall asleep. I'm listening to a podcast. I'm falling asleep, and it was the tray that you put the food and the water on was the one that comes out of the arm of the seat because I'm in the bulkhead, and I must have jostled in my sleep. I hit my knee, hit the tray, and poured like 16 ounces of water into the crotch of the guy next to me.
No,
and this is a half hour into the flight. And and we both have each have a teeny tiny little airplane napkin. He's jabbing his crotch, and I'm trying. It was, and then the other guy next to him had completely fallen asleep at this point, so he wouldn't get up. So no one would get up, and I was stuck. And then, anyway,
bad form.
So these are my
bad form.
Happen on Thanksgiving.
This is why you should travel with a water bottle and not leave an open beverage.
To pee in the water bottle?
No, to drink water from you maniacs. You don't leave an open beverage.
There's so many things I have to say also.
Okay. But that's
never allowed to pick
that's not even what we're here to talk about. We're not talking about Thanksgiving travel.
We're here to talk about.
We have with us one of the leading marketing advertisements in the world. He's an award-winning guy. He recently appeared on the Judge John Hodgman podcast with Howie. They were both on it together, settling a beef from 30 years ago. Or 20 years ago.
Best discovery ever.
Which is amazing. You have to listen to this episode of that show. We have with us Mark Aronson, Bobby Buttons. And here is the first question, because my whole house got up early today to watch the Thanksgiving parade. What is the deal? Where the heck does this come from?
Well, great question. It's really interesting, actually, how many Thanksgiving traditions, Christmas traditions that actually have derived from roots in advertising and marketing.
Really?
Yes.
Because isn't this a Macy's Day Parade? Isn't this a department store?
And that's another whole question is, why do some people call it the Macy's Day Parade versus the Thanksgiving Parade versus the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
Question, why do people bother watching this? What is interesting about this? How is this hours of people's day?
That's a lot of questions. Let them get to it.
Well,
that's right. Those are all good questions. We need you to answer them all.
So basically, those are great questions. So it actually began as a Christmas parade in 1902.
It's 95 years old.
What?
95 years.
Because it was 1920.
Well, the Thanksgiving Day Parade is 95 years old. Maybe before that was the
that's
Christmas.
right. It began as a Christmas parade, and this was right Macy's at the time. This was the literally the largest store in the world, and that was their thing. And so it began as a thing, as a celebration. Basically, the employees organized at first a Christmas parade. Right, it was to celebrate that Macy's iconic store. That's like an entire block in New York, 1 million square feet. That kind of thing. And so and they basically used it as publicity. They broadcast it on the radio, which is like a weird thing to be like, if you can imagine listening to a parade.
Listen to our parade on the radio.
So there is a more boring version of this.
I suppose yes. And it was it went on TV for the first time in the 40s. 1946.
But like in 1946, I could imagine you being like, "This is the most exciting thing we've ever seen."
That's true.
Well, look, I mean, I can't vouch for the content or whatever. I know this morning there was a lot of famous artists and large balloons. Chicago was on. They played. Belle Biv DeVoe played.
Yeah, I saw Belle Biv DeVoe with the Ninja Turtles.
It
was Belle Biv DeVoe on the Ninja Turtles.
Wow.
Not nothing. And so right,
like the Super Bowl. It's like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess. In a matter of speaking, and the balloons sort of started. They came like early on in the parade time to draw people out and to make it.
It's not balloons the whole time.
They started with the balloons almost right away. I think it was like they started in 1927. The balloons.
Oh my god!
That was the first appearance. One was a 60-foot dinosaur, and then
trying to get the kids excited. Now it's like a giant Pikachu.
Yeah, exactly. But which is another thing, like. Right at it's evolved. Like at the beginning, the balloons weren't commercial
advertisements. They
intellectual property. Exactly. They were like Humpty Dumpty or whatever. And then over time, right there, as more people want more exposure, and
it's SpongeBob and Spider-Man.
Right. And so there's deals and there's money exchanged for that and all that kind of thing. Right. But it's become a tradition, right? And it began as a way of showcasing.
I love, like, I'm just looking at some of these pictures, the netting around them, I guess before they're released, they just look like gigantic characters captured by criminals.
That's right.
Or something. And then I guess they release the net and then the balloon goes up. But they have
it's like a whole thing. They have all these people like anchoring them down. It's like a whole like procedure.
Roustabouts.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So wait, let's take it. Like, okay. So we now have is there more commerce history here?
Well, as far as the Macy's Day Parade, like that. But I think it's like the reason people eat turkey on Thanksgiving is because of ads. The reason people eat cranberry sauce is because of ads. Like none of these things were original parts of
nobody.
Holiday.
They did not pull cranberry sauce out of it. So Thanksgiving is like low key, just another Christmas or Valentine's Day like type of thing.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. There's obviously plenty of traditions and people getting together. Like as a person who has adopted this holiday, like I think it's incredible. Like it's non-denominational and everybody does it and it's big and there's lots of days off and there's all kinds of stuff.
It's non-denominational, but it doesn't feel especially Jewish.
No, I wouldn't say that. But I think that's what's nice about it.
No, I mean, sorry. It feels. It's not denominational, but it's also like not a little bit religious. You don't think?
It's not a little bit religious?
I feel like it's got a little bit of religion.
In the sense of like pilgrims giving thanks, that type of thing?
Yeah.
I guess in origins, but it doesn't, I feel like it's such an accessible holiday. I think. And I think, you read all kinds of things about, people making it their own and doing it their own way. And we have friends, who do. There's turkey on the table, and there's also kimchi on the table, and right there, and everybody just kind of everybody kind of does it. So I think that's quite cool.
Cool. All right. So, question: do you have the performances at the parade? These I remember, like some of my earliest memories of the performances, which I still don't fully understand how it happens. That they are all playing or singing to tape, I think. Or this is my game, is I always want to see who's, because how are they doing the sound for this? But does anyone have an all-time favorite? Because the one that always sticks out for me,
I don't even know.
So they march down, and then they get to somewhere where Al Roker is, and then there's a performance that gets broadcast on TV. It's like they get to the performance spot. And the first time I remember, my favorite one ever is the one from Bumper in Berlin from Pitch Perfect, the TV show from last year. But the one I remember is the Starlight Express. These guys in the streets of New York, roller skating and dancing.
So I think it was rollerblading.
Unlike the Super Bowl, these are real, we're gonna say it's B acts, right? Is that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's just some fun mashups. Yeah, there was.
I mean, it's no Times Square New Year's Eve. It's no Super Bowl.
New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Right. I feel like this is I don't want to offend anyone.
You have to do it on the float. I think you're offending a lot of people.
So Becky and Lily, you don't have memorable performances.
No.
Like me, I have many that stick out.
I've never seen
I have never seen it. I have never, I've walked through your living room while it's on TV. I have never devoted more than a passing glance of, what is that to this thing? I cannot think of anything that is more boring or more a waste of my time than to watch a parade. I don't even want to go to a parade in real life. I don't want to watch it on TV.
So until there's a disaster.
Oh God! Don't say that.
Then it gets crazy.
Like a balloon.
Have there been disasters? Does a balloon escape?
Yeah, there was a thing. I mean, there's
I hope no one was hurt.
In the 1920s, a Felix the Cat balloon burst into flames and it turned into a whole thing. But when we were kids, like 16 or 17 or 18, there was a Barney balloon that got away or whatever, and then it was flapping around crazily.
I remember that.
And they were trying to control it, and then the NYPD ended up having to shred this balloon in front of everybody, on the parade route, so that it would stop, flying around.
Okay,
so like NASCAR, people are waiting for an accident.
Right, there's just people the crowd is just gasping in horror while they are shredding Barney.
The two things I like about the parade are now fiascos. That is funny.
Where nobody gets hurt.
Where nobody gets hurt. But two, I think I actually like the fact that there's this concentrated event that everyone is focused on for hours. So there's just less people bothering me. Less on this day when everyone's coming together for a tradition that I don't have a sense, I don't have an attachment to, and I don't want to just spend the day sitting around with everyone. I'm great, you watch the parade, I'll go for a walk, I'll make a pie, it's nice.
What kind of pie are you making?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I'm making so many desserts. I am making a berry galette, and I'm making a pumpkin torte, and I'm making a pumpkin torte. And then Cousin Vanessa, P.S. I am recording on location from Cousin Vanessa's house, and Cousin Vanessa is making a flourless chocolate cake, which, not my thing, but, other people who just like chocolate.
Galette just makes me think it might be a sour pie. Is it a sour pie?
No, a galette is a pie that's baked on a baking sheet instead of in a dish. So and it's a high crust to fruit ratio. So it's much more.
You're talking my language.
So so
don't ruin a pie with too much fruit.
Exactly. So in a pie dish, it'll be pretty deep. So you have this big layer of fruit inside, whereas a galette, you take the pie crust, you put it on a baking sheet, you fill the center with a little bit of fruit, and then you fold the edges over, and it's very rustic looking, and it's mostly just crust with a little bit of fruit in the middle.
Well, speaking of delicious things, it's delicious. People love deals, but there are so many days now that there's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, Giving Tuesday, but the deals also seem to just start in the summer now. Mark, you have worked with like such an array of like big clients that I'm sure have built strategies around these days. What is going on? What is happening here? It's, like, and it seems that like for years people were making fun of all the people trying to kill each other to get TVs, but now everyone just orders stuff from home. So now people are all mad at Amazon.
Though? I feel like people are still line up though, right? And rush
just
the doors.
Work this out for us. And are there actual deals, or
the answer is sort of. The answer is sort of. Okay, so the Black Friday has its name Black Friday because that was typically the day of the fiscal year where a retailer would go into the black. Like, so they spent all this time of the year because all the cost of inventory and all that kind of stuff. And then that was the day.
And now they're starting to sell for Christmas and all that. And they get they go into
and it started as a way of really, like kickstarting that season, getting people into your store versus other stores, right? And they started a long time ago as in a world where like maybe you could see like from flyers or whatever what was in other stores. It's not like you could just be online or on an app and then you have everybody's stock and everything. So this was a real competition to like lure people in and get their holiday business. So that's where they call them door busters, door crashers, whatever it is, they wanted people in. And so they would take, huge loss leaders, great deals, like to bring people into the store. And that evolved over time until it really became like all about the deals and the door busters and that kind of stuff, especially in the online era or whatever. And then it became a thing that a lot of retailers wrestled with because you had the importance of e-commerce, hence Cyber Monday. But also what started to happen as people became more discerning and better equipped with info and that kind of stuff is a lot of retailers were finding actually that they were in this conundrum where they felt like they still had to do Black Friday big because that was just such a part of the culture. I remember I was working with Best Buy like in the 2010s, right? So obviously people were shopping online at that time. Everybody's comfortable with that. And they were really wrestling with, this is our thing. Like our thing is Black Friday. People come and they line up and they buy
people
TVs.
Would be disappointed if you didn't do it.
Right. And it's just like, imagine seeing a Best Buy store without a big lineup on Black Friday. It's so crazy. But at the same time, now, like in that era where they had much more data on their shoppers and the people that were their customers and all that kind of stuff, they actually knew that the people coming on Black Friday were their worst customers. They were there just for the deal and they wouldn't be back until there was another deal. Like, right, there was no, and I don't mean worst in the sense of like any judgment on people as
people who spend, who spend the less, the least.
Exactly right. From a profitability.
These are not loyal customers. These are not the people that they're depending on.
Right, and they're not going to do Geek Squad, and they're not going to get anything installed, and they're not going to come back for.
They're not going to get all the upsells either.
Not just upsells, but I mean they're there to buy something heavily on discount, which for Best Buy, like they're not just giving it away; they're losing money on it, like major. So that's all they're going to buy, and then right, and they're not going to be back. It's not like they go to Best Buy all the time, and so. So they were really wrestling with it. And then also at that same time, there was like I don't know what you call it. There was like a nuclear arms race of Black Friday opening hours. Where
it was like people are like opening on like Monday at this point, right?
Yeah, it was like for Black Friday, like I can't remember who started it, but it was like between them, Target, Walmart. Target,
right, they would open at like midnight or something.
Exactly. Target they did like a 5 a.m. opening, and then I think Walmart did a midnight, exactly like you're talking about.
Do you remember people would line up and like sleep outside in tents and stuff after?
Yes.
I mean, before in like, yeah.
Totally. And it was a thing, and it was like a tradition. Like there was plenty of people we spoke to that was like, this is part of our Thanksgiving, right? We do a Thanksgiving meal.
But is that still done now? today?
I mean,
I don't know. I don't have my finger on the pulse of Walmart of like what's happening.
It still happens.
So I don't.
It still happens, and they still offer door
Crazy.
crashers and stuff to get people in. But also, right, they start things online beforehand. They're going to follow it with Cyber Monday after. So it doesn't have the same. It doesn't have the same weight. And then, truthfully, it got to a point almost culturally where it was like too much. Where it was like employees
People
were
died.
like, "What do you mean I'm coming in at midnight
on Thanksgiving?
Like on Thanksgiving? Like that's so crazy. Not even like you have to be in before that to prep the store." And then there was all this crazy stuff like they opened the doors at midnight, but they only released like their good door crasher at like 3 a.m. So people were like milling around in the stores, like for hours.
God. That's really sick.
Yeah. But the idea, I think that was Walmart. Like the idea is like, okay, well, they're in. So we have the foot traffic. They'll shop. They're going to buy stuff.
No. I understand the mentality. I remember when REI announced they were no longer opening their stores on Black Friday, that they were giving all their employees the day off. And that being like a really big cultural moment.
REI, they're such show-offs.
Yeah. I mean, it's brilliant. And people still talk about it. Like that still comes up.
But I buy so much stuff because I'm like, I love the values of this company. Sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
No, totally. And that's exactly the point. I think, right, that was happening right as this kind of crescendo of, right? Mm-hmm. And so they did opt outside.
Whoever's idea was that, it was like, let's go the other direction.
Yeah, I mean, really, really brilliant. I think the agency was, Pereira, Odell, and Partners. That they're a West Coast agency. They're just brilliant.
But also, REI stuff is so expensive that I think they're fine.
It's not that expensive. They have ranges. They have ranges.
All right, moving ahead. Okay, so
can I just say one more thing about that? Is I think right that was probably right as amazing as REI and their values are. I don't know that they would have made an entirely altruistic decision just to close the stores and give everybody the day off. I think there's probably a combination of things, which is, were they doing good sales on Black Friday, or was it the same thing? They were getting people in, like the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, basically, in terms of what they had to put everybody through, for the profitability of the day. And then the other piece is that
altruism,
right? And so, but not purely, because we're still talking about it. That was like 14 years ago. Like, do you know what I mean? And so, or whatever it is.
Amazing.
I mean, when was that? It was 2010 or 11 or 12. We're still talking about, truthfully, like when we talk to clients about things, that still comes up. And so they found a way to get the talk value and publicity and buzz, right? That maybe otherwise been from lineups and whatever, to deliver it in
by being closed. It's pretty smart.
By being closed, like when they probably, and truthfully, like it probably wouldn't have been a great day. They wouldn't have been a great day for them anyway. Like if they were going to compete, they would have to offer crazy deals and
lose money, so, maybe. Yeah.
I
this conversation is getting me in the mood to go to REI and buy some stuff. I'm just saying. I want to go peruse.
So that leads me to: are there any deals that people should seek out? I don't know if you can give this kind of consumer advice.
Isn't most of it a scam, Mark? Like,
yes,
they raise the prices to then knock it down 50% off, and like they're not. It's like the house always wins. They're not losing money. So
to a degree, yes, I would say probably like there's a stat out there. It's like 90% of the deals like aren't really that great of a deal, and you'll do better a different time, or exactly right. They're not true deals. I think there are some, that is just like a flat out, thing, but they're in limited quantities still to like drum up that kind of stuff. So I think it's like, look, some people love doing it. It's like part of their tradition and part of their family and that kind of stuff. And it feels good. And you want to buy stuff for people and Christmas shop and, all that. And yeah, I think it's just, you gotta be sure that you're
I don't know.
real deal.
Even if the deals are fake, I get a little bit annoyed when there's some brands and things that I like where I'm like, you're not even doing a fake Black Friday deal. You're not even pretending you're going to take $5 off. Like, this is I was actually looking for something specific I wanted to buy.
You wanted everybody to participate. You're like, everybody should participate.
I'm like, why do you think you're better than Black Friday?
All right, wait.
That you don't even offer a deal.
Let's talk Small Business Saturday, and then everyone, I'd love for you to say, like, is there a small business you're supporting on Small Business Saturday?
That's a lot of pressure.
But let's get for me, it's the CD seller in Falls Church, or any record store, any local record store. Like, that's, to me, that's
Becky
where
loves a
my
farmer's
small
market.
business
Does that
relation
count?
starts.
No, I was going to actually say also in Arlington, there's a cute little local shop called Covet. Where there's and then right below it, I think it's called Urban Farmhouse is the other store. These two local shops, they sell a lot of things, yeah, it's a very cute small local business if you're in the Arlington area. I recommend.
So Mark, where this I like the Small Business Saturday. I also like things like Record Store Day, which does like a smaller version of their Record Store Day on actual Black Friday to encourage people to go and shop at your local record store. Like, where did that come from? How does something like that break through if they're small businesses?
So,
like, who's making money off? Like, who's the secret big business that's making money off the Small Business Saturday?
Well, it's American Express. Small Business Saturday is a construct or is an invention of American Express, Amex. They have a very big small business part of their business.
Sorry, pause. He did call it Amex, not Amex. So I just feel like 1 point for us Canadians.
Amex?
No,
that's what it is.
Is what Americans call it.
It's what Americans call it, Becky.
Canadians.
Amex.
Canadians
our parents call it Amex.
I actually maybe even think that's just your parents. I wouldn't say that's reflective of.
It's definitely a
Parents like don't bring Canadians into this.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us more, Amex, because we're all like very loyal Amex users.
No, I'm a loyal Amex user.
Yeah.
Me too.
So I actually had a close view of this because a lot of this was kind of happening or going through the agency that I was working on at the time had Amex Small Business as a client. And so this is like 2009, 2010. And it's actually brilliant. Truthfully, I think Amex deserves a lot of credit for this, and I think it's very smart, and I think it's been beneficial to small business in a lot of ways. So the kind of the origin of it is basically right. If you think about the timing of that's right on the sort of heels of the Great Recession, right? Where I mean, it was brutal. It was a huge recession. People were
2008 for the young people.
2008.
Don't remember.
Exactly right. Right. It was we talk about it as a housing market crash and all that kind of stuff and bailouts but right. If you can imagine being a small business owner or a retailer at that time, obviously there's a knock-on effect in terms of your revenue, your business, that kind of thing. So normally, what Amex does for small businesses and what small businesses need the most in normal circumstances is credit. Right. So that's great. That's great for Amex because that's what they do. They help people borrow money and that kind of thing. During this time, that wasn't the case. Small businesses weren't about to borrow money to, expand or hire more people or that kind of stuff. What small business was desperate for at that time was revenue. They needed foot traffic and business and people in the door and people buying stuff. So the other thing about Amex is this is like, it's a bit of a closed loop in a way, right? Because sure, they offer credit products to small businesses, but they also have a massive personal credit card business where they could incentivize people to use their credit cards at specific places, right? So they sort of turn their attention to that, right? And they were like, okay, there's Black Friday, there's Cyber Monday, like, can't there be a time in between where we really focus our attention. We're not taking anything away from our giant corporate partners and clients or whatever. And isn't there a way, right, where we could support all these small business owners, right, and become an advocate for them and that kind of stuff. So it was that they put money in to advertising it. They did TV stuff. They did a massive PR campaign about it. They had like the Obama White House was in on it. Like it was a whole kind of a thing. And the smartest thing that they did, truthfully, you could call this cynical or you could call it anything else, but the smartest thing that he did was to brand it, to make it into a thing. Small Business Saturday. It's got a logo. You can picture it. It's a blue circle. It's got a little white storefront, right? And what they did was they gave all of these tools, like a toolkit, basically all these materials, and they made it all available to small businesses. So they could get stickers, they could use those logos, they could put the name of their business on a Small Business Saturday.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing, and it's. I mean, it took a lot of investment, but it's stuck. I think truthfully, as you want to talk marketing things that influence holidays and stuff like that, I think they deserve a lot of credit for it, because I think it's really helpful actually to small businesses, and they continue to put their money behind it. Like I'm an Amex card holder and I have offers to get stuff back or points or whatever to with a map to my local small businesses. So I think it's brilliant.
I actually really like it. I look forward to it. It actually gives me an opportunity sometimes to like, oh, I could just buy that thing there. There's, like, that I wouldn't have normally thought about, or to buy people presents. Like I dig it. Okay. All right. Small Business Saturday. Amazing origin story though. That's crazy. I mean, that's amazing. Okay. Are there traps to avoid? Are there things, like we talked about the deals, but like, are there things from the business side that we know, like, are just avoid that deal?
I thought, like, in the travel industry, it's like a lot of bullshit. Like, like the hotels and all that kind of stuff. And then you click and you click and you click and you go and you try to get, and then it's always like, oh, up to, and they're like, here's 10% off. And you've spent all that time and like are planning a whole thing around it. And then I feel like that industry really, really grabs you and like messes. Yeah, it's not real.
Well, and I think, right, that's a tactic.
As a consumer.
No, and that's a thing. That's a tactic, and it's a way user experience is built online often. So, right, so many things are designed where it's like, it's essentially what Black Friday is FOMO, right?
Oh, that's an interesting.
Right. I mean, that's right. And so if you think about it in that context,
the psychology of like, I have to buy today because I'm missing my chance. Everybody's doing it.
That's right. And it's going to be gone. And it's going to be, so if you think about that in that context, the travel industry is crazy like that. There are so many things, and some of them are like entirely bullshit. There are so many things that are part of like the user experience of shopping that are designed to induce that in you. Like, for example, when you're looking at a property on OTA, online travel agent, that's like Expedia or something like that.
Booking.
And it says 3 other people are looking at this room.
Oh, yeah.
That's not true. That's just FOMO.
That's crazy. When they're
really?
like, there are 17 other people right now looking.
That's right.
Or
there's only 4 left at this price.
There's only 4 left on the plane. When you're looking at the seats or whatever, there's only 2 seats left at this price.
And so, look, part of it is just like, it's important just to like take a step back and be like, that is not for just my information. That is right? They're not just helping me with new information. That is 100% right
to get you
designed to make me.
That's great.
Right, finish this transaction. And so, I would say
great.
I'm no retail expert in terms of like what deals are real and not real. There's if you Google, there's stuff about like you can check it on Amazon the other day or this day. But I would say the biggest thing to keep in mind is like it's all meant to make you feel FOMO.
And that's a great point. I love that.
Now, some things that you don't want,
FOMO.
you may or may not want to have FOMO about are movies that take place on Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah, I feel like you can't not mention a few movies.
Yeah, we got to mention some movies. So,
yeah,
let's do a little lightning round here.
And when you Google,
Lily, do you want to lead us through the lightning round?
Sure. When you just Google best Thanksgiving movies, they're so depressing. Like I looked at like 60.
When I worked at the State Department, there was a colleague of mine who worked in the field of public diplomacy, who used to say that when they go overseas, people think like the worst about Americans when they think Thanksgiving, because they're like, you have this holiday where you get together and you're all miserable and drunk.
Right. I mean,
okay. But okay, who's got a favorite Thanksgiving movie?
Or maybe that's a bigger question. Do any of you guys have a favorite Thanksgiving
Does The Last Waltz count as a Thanksgiving movie?
Oh, that does count as a Thanksgiving movie. That's the winner then.
That's my favorite.
The Last Waltz, really?
Wow.
Okay. It's a Scorsese's film, concert film. It's like the definitive concert film. It changed concert films.
It was on the list too
of the band.
Like this.
Okay, Becky, how about you? Do you have a Thanksgiving film?
What are Thanksgiving movies?
Well,
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Mine is The Family Stone. I really love that movie. The
Home
Family
for the
Stone.
Holidays, The Ice Storm. She's Got to Have It. Charlie Brown.
Aren't those all Christmas movies?
No, those are all Thanksgiving movies. All of those are Thanksgiving, aren't they? Yeah, no, they're all Thanksgiving movies. Those are all Thanksgiving. Family Stone, Home for the Holidays is Thanksgiving.
Family Stone might be Christmas.
Family Stone might be Christmas.
Oh, shit. No, okay. All right. Anyway. Who has any shout outs and recs? Because I know we're running out of time. Becky, is there any shout outs and recs?
I have a few. I want to do a few quick ones.
Well, let Becky go first. Becky
my first is
to make Thanksgiving dinner.
My first is cousin Vanessa, who I will be cooking a very special Thanksgiving dinner with today. And my second is, as far as recs, I really do recommend, just simply based on this conversation today, the 3rd season of Upload, where there is this amazing episode about this holiday that everybody celebrates in the timeline that this show exists in, which looks to be some sort of combination between Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Black Friday. But it's really like as if Black Friday was turned into a national holiday. And I forget what they call it. It's like Digital Delivery Day or something like that. And you put on your table, it's all about coming together and having the meal, but also ordering as much stuff as possible. And then you put on your meat on like your dinner table, you put the free delivery fairy and he sits on your table to like bless your table with free delivery.
Perfect episode.
And it's so fantastic. And it's just like wonderfully parallel to the conversation we've had today, where it feels not that far off. Like it's just adjacent to our reality.
That's amazing. So, all right, Beck, thank you. We know you got to run.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving, I guess.
Lily, how about you? What are your happy Thanksgiving, Beck?
So also a shout out to cousin Vanessa, who recommended the movie Past Lives to me. Which is just such a beautiful, I'm in like a very like heartbreaky slow film mood right now. Okay?
I'm in like a horror.
Yeah. I'm just like, I can't really handle that much. And Upload is a great one. Like Becky said, I've been I watched the 3 seasons of Lupin, which I highly recommend watching it in French, because I loved watching it in the original.
Josh is watching with a sub with dubbing, by the way,
Mark, Josh is watching it dubbed in English. Are we serious right now?
It's just you just lose all the. You know what? I listened. I took that recommendation from you in your last episode, and I started watching it as well. And it's great.
It's
your assessment of it is perfect. It's like
it's just what
not too heavy, not too crazy,
and it's like fun to like see how the mystery plays. I'm enjoying it. Like I mean I finished. It's great. The 3 seasons are great. And it seems like there'd be a 4th. And but yeah, so this movie Past Lives is heartbreakingly beautiful. It's not particularly sad or anything. It's just a beautiful, beautiful film. I think it's like has Oscar buzz and stuff. It's wonderful. Highly recommend that. And then a movie Shy would absolutely hate on Apple Plus with the guy from The Bear, Jeremy Allen White, and
I love Jeremy Allen White.
Ahmed, Riz Ahmed. Am I saying that right? Yeah. It's the cast is great. It's got Luke Wilson, Riz Ahmed, Jesse Buckley, but the idea of it is like Shy's Nightmare, where it's just like about people and dealing with love and like it's like Severance meets a love story. And so, yes, this is not a movie for Shy, but it kind of goes in that sort of mood that I'm in. And it's a futuristic world where if you test your fingernails, like a machine will say if you're in love, if both of the people in the partnership are actually in love.
Also, you're sneaking in some Black Mirror in there.
It's like Black Mirror, Severance, and a love story. But it's just my mood right now, and I enjoyed it. And it's like I have Apple Plus, so I just watched it. It's on there. So
what about you? What about you, Mark?
This is I always dread this part because I don't watch enough. I'm trying to think if I have anything amazing. I watched the Kane Mutiny Court Martial.
The original movie is amazing.
I guess I watched the remake with.
It's like a play. It's essentially like a play, but yeah. I'm sure that. That's great. It was good.
It was like for that kind of a thing. I mean, it all takes place in one room basically. Yeah. It's all dialogue driven and
it's like that 12 Angry Men kind of thing.
Yeah, and I sort of was like, okay, you're like, how long am I going to be able to fall? But I thought it was good. It was it's just so different than what is on.
Yeah. I mean, it's a that was a movie that my dad had like recommended me, and the way my kids are like, I don't want to watch that old people movie for years. I never watched it. And then I watched it on a plane and I immediately called my dad and said, that movie is pretty amazing. The original one. But this looks like a cool, Jay Duplass is in it. All right. And Lance Reddick. Oh, rest in peace. There's some cool people in this.
It kind of really grabs you at the ending. It kind of comes out of nowhere a little bit. It's good. That's
really cool. Well, those are great recommendations. Mine is I just watched Dumb Money.
Oh.
Which has Seth Rogen. It's kind of like The Big Short. I was really tired when I watched it, so I sort of fell asleep in and out of it. But it's about the whole Robin Hood thing, and I think it was interesting. Yeah, America Ferrera was in there. It was interesting, and kind of fun. It falls short of being The Big Short, but The Big Short is like a truly, it's sort of like an upper level movie. But Dumb Money, if you were into The Big Short, Dumb Money is a solid watch. And then I've been watching Bosch Legacy, Lily. I'm on the 7th episode. You better pick up.
I had to catch up.
The first 2 episodes were like a very, like almost like a short, like a feature film, because they were 2 episodes resolving the cliffhanger from the previous season, which is the kidnapping of Bosch's daughter. And then the story kind of reboots for the rest of the season of just another series of mysteries. Anyways, love me some Bosch. Just delivers every time.
It's like kind of the thing you need right now. It's like,
Yeah, and I'm thankful, to Bosch, because it's like easing me into. I'm starting to watch more stuff after a period of, for me, not watching a lot of stuff,
which is very rare.
Yeah, it's very rare. But yeah, it's been like schlocky horror or horror, and now Bosch. And I'm strongly considering watching the 2-part movie, like recent version of it, because our friend Candace Martellaro writes for a YouTube channel called CZ's. Hold on, I gotta get the C the letter CZ's World, and they do biography videos, like historical biography videos of horror movie characters. So I watched this like 37-minute history of Pennywise, as told with the movies as the references, but as if it's a biography.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And they it's really, really well written. And then there's some really great humor in it as well. But I asked her in advance, I'm like, is this going to scare me? She's like, no, it's not going to scare you. I had to turn it off after 20 minutes because I was terrified.
It's so funny because you watch a lot of really scary stuff.
Yeah, but there's like rules in what I watch. Anyways, I now, although it did really make me want to see it, and also it's it's my kind of YouTube channel. It was cool. I got to get up the guts to watch the Freddy Krueger one.
Ugh. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's just terrifying. Well, I think that really brings us to the end of our
Mark's got to get back to that parade.
Episode.
It's not going to watch
Mark's
itself.
Get back to that parade. Check out the video we just put up. We will have put up by the time this episode comes out. This is Becky and I tasting the Thanksgiving flavored candy, like turkey, green beans, gravy, mashed potatoes flavored candy that Lily sent me
for your birthday. Happy birthday!
And I'll just let that video speak on
which I had to buy on eBay, and it's way past its best by date.
Yeah. Follow us at FridayNightMovie.com. Enjoy. Thank you to our guest.
Thank you,
Mark. Always appreciate having you on there. And talk soon.
Great to see you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for listening to Friday Night Movie, the sibling rivalry and pop culture podcast. Join the Friday Night Movie family by following @FryNightMovie on all of the socials and visiting our website, FryNightMovie.com. Our theme song is by What Does It Eat? And make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.